Hey everyone, it's Ashley, and this is going to be my second trimester recap. I'm currently in my third trimester of my third and final baby, and so I'm just gonna give you a little overview of this pretty uneventful second trimester. So at the beginning of my second trimester, we ended up traveling for 2 weeks to the UK, specifically England and the Isle of Man, where my husband is from. We did so much traveling. I will say that during travel, I've been pregnant twice while traveling internationally, and I always wear compression stockings, medical grade, really tight compression stockings. I always sit on the aisle so I can get up and walk around, even if it's just to stand kind of where the stewardesses are, kind of stretch my legs, whatever, and obviously use the bathroom as much as I can, and I only drink water while I'm on the plane. I will always order my son water, even though, or my child, whatever child I have with me. I will also order him water so that I can drink his water, and then he has his bottle of water or whatever we've bought at the airport. So I have tons of water, not tons, they only give you little cups, but as much water as I can during the flight to stay hydrated. I was super jet lagged. I don't think I've ever been that jet lagged. I think it's probably a combination of zero sleep on the plane. I have a very hard time sleeping on planes. The hour in which we left, we kind of arrived very early in the morning their time, so you kind of think you should stay up. And then obviously pregnancy just makes you tired. As soon as we got off the plane, it was kind of go, go, go. It was staying here, staying there, traveling here, traveling there. The only place we stayed in for more than 2 nights was at the very end of our trip, and so it was a lot of going. We went to amusement parks, didn't really get to do anything. We at home have been to Six Flags a few times since I've been pregnant, and I don't get to do much of anything. But I'll tell you, New Jersey Six Flags is a very nice safari that I've become I could probably recite because I go on it at least twice while we're there. Just because it's something I can do and not stand and wait for my husband and older son to be done. So there's that. We've traveled to New Hampshire. Basically our whole summer has been traveling or just being busy with 2 kids. And I haven't had any super annoying symptoms. Just trying to think. I started to feel the baby move around 20-ish weeks, and that's about the time we announced. We were really excited to have kept this a secret until we saw my husband's family, because they didn't know anything about it, and we, for the first time, got to tell them in person that I was pregnant. So everyone was very excited, and yeah. And this pregnancy has been less nerve-wracking than my last pregnancy, and I'm very thankful for that. So, the last thing I really wanted to discuss was on September 4th, we had just gotten back from a trip to New Hampshire for Labor Day, and I got in a car accident. It is now, let me look, September 24th. So 20 days later, I still don't have my car back. This accident was very mild is the, like, a word to use it, I guess. I was going super slow. It was my fault, I will say that. I got distracted by something on the ground, and instead of stopping completely, I just rolled into somebody. Unfortunate thing is, the thing I rolled into was a very heavy oil truck. And so, no matter how slow I was going, there was going to be no damage to that truck, and the damage that occurred to my car was honestly very minimal, but apparently time consuming to fix. So it wasn't, my car was okay to drive. I drove it to the auto body shop in the end. So yes, what did I do pregnancy wise because of that? My husband picked me up. Actually, my husband came to where I had the accident. It was not far from his work. His work is amazing. He can leave and come and go as he pleases, which is, I'm so completely thankful for, because having no car, and I can't drive his because it's a manual car, it's been really hard for us to do anything that I need to get done. Anyway, so he came and met me. We drove my car to the auto body shop. And then I made lunch and stuff for them, my son and him, and then he took me to the hospital. I called my OB like literally minutes after the accident, just to say, what should I do? Of course, they said you should come and get monitored. So that's what I did. We only spent maybe 2.5 hours there. My husband actually had to leave to go get my older son off the bus. So I'm not really sure exactly how long I was there, but they said that some people have to stay a lot longer than me, so I was very fortunate. They hooked me to a monitor, measured the heartbeat, made sure the baby was moving around, made sure everything looked okay. They did a small ultrasound, said the food was great. So I was really thankful that they could kind of get me in and out quickly, and reassure me that things are okay, because honestly, no matter the accident, you still worry just in case. And if you ever are in a small accident or anything during your pregnancy, you could go crazy thinking about what's happening, what's going on in there. So definitely go get checked out. So that's honestly about it. The symptoms I've been having that I haven't had in other pregnancies, acid reflux, and it's probably because of the vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery that I had coming up on, it'll be 2 years in December. I can't math at all right now. I'm having a very hard time. I remember people's names. I've been, the people I know, like, see every week at church, and I just can't get their names out of my mouth, or I can't remember words. That's not unusual for me during pregnancy, but it seems to have gotten a lot worse as this pregnancy has gone on, and the amount of pregnancies I've had. So, yeah. Things I haven't had during this pregnancy, I've had during other ones. I have not had sciatica yet, which I had really bad with my first son. I haven't had super bad gas, which is very bad pregnancy symptom I've had before, which is, sorry if you've never been pregnant, if you've never experienced the awful gas. I have had constipation, which I had with my other son, with my second son. We still don't know the gender. We decided not to find out. We didn't find out. And so at the anatomy scan, which came out perfect, we just said we don't want to know. Then they said, actually, we need you to come back in like a week. And so I went back a week later. Still said, don't want to know. And it's very important, if you don't want to know, to really tell every single tech that you have. Even when I went and got monitored at the hospital, I specifically said, we don't know what we're having. I know you're not looking for that, but please just be aware that we don't know what we're having. And she said, yes, you have to say that, because sometimes things happen. So I actually have a growth ultrasound coming up on Friday, and I will say the exact same thing. Yeah, it is very tempting at this point to kind of just find out without my husband and keep it a secret to myself, because we are still struggling with baby names. We've had our girl's name for a long time. It's actually the same name we had for Rowan, my second son. But boys' names are just a struggle. Our first son was very easy to name. We had his name probably even before he was born, conceived. But my little guy was not named until after he was born because I was done fighting about it. We didn't know what we were having, so I thought, if it's a girl, we're good. If it's a boy, we'll figure it out later. But it's pretty important to figure out while you're at the hospital. It's not important. It's important to me to figure it out at the hospital because they do all the paperwork and birth certificate stuff for you if you're still at the hospital. If you wait and leave the hospital, you have to do all that stuff yourself. And I'm just not logistically inclined like that. My husband could totally do it, but it's much easier for someone who knows exactly what to do and how to fill out these forms. So finding the name and naming the baby in the hospital is the easiest thing to do. Yeah, and lastly, I am super into baby wearing. I have a lot of carriers, and I'm so excited to wear this little baby because I totally miss Rowan going up in the ring sling and cuddling with me. And anyway, one of the baby wearing groups that I'm in locally had their annual picnic, and I've never actually been able to go because we always have things to do. But they do a raffle, and they allow online raffle tickets to be sold ahead of time. And I actually won two prizes. One is for my older son, which he's super excited about, and the other one is placenta encapsulation, which I've never done. And you know what? I'll tell you, I thought to myself, if I win anything, it's gonna be this, because it's kind of, for my husband, it's gonna be very weird. Anyway, I have no idea what to do with this. She actually said that I contacted the woman who offered this prize. She's very local to me, and she said she actually takes Thanksgiving off, and this baby is due to arrive the last week of November. It'll be 39 weeks, excuse me, the last week of November, and that's when they said they will do the C-section. I was now not given the option to try for another VBAC, so a repeat section it is. She said she takes those days off, so if the baby's born earlier, she said we have to freeze it ourselves. Like, we could, it's not that gross and it's not that weird for me, but I can just see my husband being like, I can't put that in the freezer. I will never look at our freezer the same way. And obviously I'll be at the hospital, so hopefully the baby will arrive when we have the scheduled due date. Hopefully she will be available to come and pick it up at the hospital. If not, I may just gift this prize to someone else because I wouldn't be able to use it or whatever. So I told her I'd give her a call in November and ask the logistics of how you get to save your placenta. I don't know. So I will see you all probably mid to end of November with a recap of the third trimester as it draws to an end. And I hope everyone is great. See you soon.